Hey, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44, on my Facebook page, True Divine 44. Like, share, subscribe and comments on either or both of those platforms. Greatly appreciated, and much love to everybody who's done that thus far. I'm putting out as much free content as I can, one, to show what I can do, but also to help support, guide and inspire those who maybe can't afford to have a private reading. And in particular, at this point in time, I'm trying to be as on point and on time as possible because there is a lot of support and inspiration needed. We're going through a very specific time where we collectively are experiencing something in real time at the same time. And we're trying to find the best way to react to it. We're trying to find the best way to muddle through it together. So there is this real togetherness and connectedness right now. So it's important that I say that these readings, although they're general, some might resonate with people, some might not, might all resonate with people, it might all not. But right now, because of this thing that's been thrown into the collective ring, so to speak, and because we're experiencing it on such in such high numbers worldwide at the same time, the readings have been very specific to that, and been very specific to how that reflects upon our individual lives. So from the messages I've been getting and the feedback I've been getting, the general readings have been very on point at the moment for many, because we're all experiencing very similar things or very similar reactions to that one similar thing that's been thrown in the collective ring, so to speak. So this is an invitation for the energies of the day, where I pick up the energies around me and translate them via tarot and bring them to you. And the day is the 31st of March 2020. I apologise for not putting anything out yesterday. I was feeling a bit poorly, still feeling a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. I'm cracking on. I'm well enough to put videos out today and do readings today, so it's all good. So the first card for the 31st of March 2020 is the Tower. So the Tower is that karmic destruction of all things that don't work, all things that have been man-made, made out of ego, made to serve ego, things that don't really work on the face of it. They might have looked like they worked on the face of it. We might have been tricked into thinking that these constructs worked and helped the greater good, but no. The Tower comes in and crashes those things down. It brings those things to the ground. It is the universal demolition man, stroke woman, that comes in and strips us bare of all things that were made up of ego, all things that were made up of illusion, all things that did not really work for us. Now the Tower can seem very harsh, very thunderous, and very dangerous. It can seem like it is not for the greater good of us, but actually the Tower is one of the biggest blessings in disguise cards. It's one of the greatest, it's one of the most benevolent cards, in that the energy in this card for me stands for the real genuine love, in that no matter how much it might hurt somebody, no matter how much it might look like they are the destructor, the nasty character of the story, they love us enough, and the energy of this card loves us enough to not allow us to live in falsehoods, to not allow us to live pretending everything's okay, when actually the damage is being done on the physical, spiritual and mental realms and aspects of life. So it lets us go on for so long, and then it gets to a point where the energy of this card does love creation enough to say enough is enough, and things come crumbling down. The physical aspect of it is that anything that's built on lies, anything that is built on illusion, anything that is built in a way that is trickery, then it only has a certain shelf life. And yes, that shelf life in our current aspect, in our present day, might have been for a very, very long time. It might have been for hundreds of years. This tower of illusion, this tower of false constructs, has maybe, I feel, been built up over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And so it feels very real, it feels very permanent, it feels like it must survive. And this is where we have a little bit of kickback, because there's a separation in people, in that there's people who can see and have seen for a very long time that these man-made constructs, like royalty, the policing system, social services system, many of the big charities, you know, what the people, there's a certain type and separation of people that can see those constructs and have seen those constructs for what they are for a very, very, very long time. And that's not to ignore that there's good people within those constructs thinking they're doing a good job. I'm talking about the makers and maintainers of these man-made constructs. So these people have seen for a very long time that this doesn't really work for the many. This isn't really in benefit for the many. This isn't what it seems. This isn't as benevolent as it seems. And then there's this other side where there's another section of people who are so indoctrinated and so used to and have never really questioned the constructs, these man-made constructs. So they'll actually, without really thinking too much into it, will actually start to do the work of those constructs. They'll do the petitioning for those constructs. They'll do, to some extent, the controlling for those constructs, and actually to some extent will start to fight to save said constructs. So this tower is harsh and thunderous for everybody. Everybody that is in its wake, of course it will be, because this tower feels bigger than any other tower I've pulled. And it's waited to come out. Where other cards have been very repetitive over the last few weeks, there's been a build up to this card coming out, and on the last day of the month of March it pops out. And so there's this, everybody will be affected by the rubble, the brickwork, the stonework that will fall from this tower. But I really do feel for the people who are still under the illusion of the constructs that are represented in this tower. They will struggle slightly more because they haven't had that gradual process of the illusion being revealed, the trickery being revealed, the lies and deceit being revealed. And actually, to compound that, they're going to feel very disappointed about the fact that they actually did work on this tower's behalf, on the constructs that this tower represents on their behalf, i.e. Being judgmental towards others who saw these towers for what they were, or trying to control others at the behest of the spokespeople of these man-made constructs that this tower represents. So that is very dangerous ground for those people, although this tower is going to shake the world because it represents so many constructs, so many towers that have been built up this way around the world. I think it's going to shake up the people who haven't seen these constructs and these towers for what they are more so than anybody else. It's important to know right now, whatever side of this card that you're on, the one main rule I think here would be to don't judge too quickly. Don't act too quickly against your fellow man at the behest of any controlling tower. Wherever that call comes from within that controlling tower, however that specific controlling tower implements its control over society, don't be so quick to hurt, judge, or control your brothers and sisters, your fellow man and woman, at the behest of this tower, because they're all coming down. We're coming into a new age. We're coming into a new cycle. Illusions, lies, deceit, control through means of abuses that you wouldn't believe are being revealed right now. There's a shakedown right now of all of those things, and it's up to us to be so discerning and connect with all of ourselves, our physical self, our mental self, our spiritual self. Connect with our soul. Ask our soul questions, ask our higher self, our true self questions, rather than looking to any tower for the answers. To clarify this tower, we have the High Priestess. Again, she's waited to come out. And so this is this divine feminine principle, in that I had a reoccurring vision a little while ago, and it was the earth shaking. It was soil moving and the earth vibrating at a very high rate, as if it was going to have a big crack down the middle of it at any moment. But instead of that, these bones started to emerge from the soil that was shaking, almost like a sieve, but a sieve working in reverse, where the things weren't sinking to the bottom and they were raising up. So this shaking kept happening in this vision, to the point where these bones were just being revealed. And what it felt like was that the Great Mother, Mother Earth, had had enough. The divine feminine principle of Mother Earth had gotten sick of the towers, the constructs, hiding their secrets, hiding their bones within her womb, burying them within herself. And the time was going to be coming where all of these bones, all of these secrets, all of these abuses that had been hidden and pushed aside were going to surface. The truths were going to be told by the very bones of the people that they affected at the time. That she wasn't going to hold any secrets, she wasn't going to hold any lies, she wasn't going to hold and keep stum about any abuses. And I really feel that time's coming to pass right now. Though it feels like we're still under a lot of control, and we are, the spiritual selves of many are soaring because of this isolation. It's actually working in reverse, and that a lot of people are realizing that you can be isolated, locked up if you're in a physical prison, but nobody can stop the conscious mind. Nobody can hinge that in. They can try and make you feel like you're hinged in. They can try and control you through deceit and through illusion about who you really are and how powerful us humans really are and how expansive we really are. But actually, many times, and many of the people I listen to and follow have been, bad boys, bad girls, if you want to call them that, and they have had stints of isolation within a physical prison, within a real prison. And it's been during that time, during that isolation period, that they've found their spiritual selves, that they've found their soul again, and they've connected with the all again. yet they've been physically locked up in this concrete box, and they've been physically isolated from any other human contact, yet they feel more connected to the whole, they feel more connected to the all, and nothing can stop that process. If you are mentally agile enough to break through those barriers, those limitations that have been put around the human consciousness, if you are mentally strong enough to get over those initial hurdles, then you break open into this ever expansive consciousness, the ever expansive possibilities of what we're capable of. And I really do feel that this divine feminine principle has been really connecting with many during this time of so-called isolation, and has really been helping to connect people consciousness to consciousness. And it has grown into something that is helping to shake down these towers, to shake up these bones, these secrets, these abuses, these lies. And so this divine feminine energy, this high priestess, I feel, in conjunction with that repetitive vision that I kept having, is going through labor right now. And she's breathing, contracting and pushing, breathing, contracting and pushing. And she's all about creativity, she's all about newness, she's all about this oneness. And so there is a new reality to be revealed, a reality that was always there for us to have the minute we stop believing in things outside of ourselves, towers outside of ourselves, man-made constructs outside of ourselves. This high priestess knows that any answers you seek, any direction you seek, any directives that you seek are all within self. That yes, we can learn from each other, yes, we can expand, knowing other people's opinions, other people's hypothesis, if you like, but ultimately all of the answers are within. Nothing should be built outside of self. Certainly nothing should be served outside of self. This high priestess knows that there can be peace when people just serve self, because there isn't any jealousy or ego involved. This divine feminine principle for me is, yes, she's full of sensuality, yes, she's full of the nurturing side of things, but this high priestess knows the occult, she knows the hidden. So she holds within her all of the secrets that have needed to be protected from the people who aren't initiated into being able to understand them yet. But she also, for me, holds the secrets of all of the people and things that help build up these constructs, these man-made towers. So ultimately, she is the energy that will usher in truth to people who are ready to hear and ready to see truth and understand it. But she also is the energy for me of ushering in a time when lies, deceits, illusions that have been created to cause harm are going to be birthed into the consciousness, the collective consciousness. And where that might be hard to handle, the things that we learn, the things that we hear might be hard to handle, ultimately, it is how we protect our young. It is how we go forward in a much more connected way, in a much more whole way. And the time is now to make the decision to open your eyes, open your ears, and really be discerning about what you're being shown, about what you're being told, and look within self for the answers. What does your self say? What does your self feel and hear and see? Don't listen to anybody who's speaking out from these towers, the towers that haven't served, the towers that haven't protected, the towers that haven't let us live to our fullest potential. So the second card is the Six of Pentacles, and this is the repetitive card that's kept coming up throughout the last few days, weeks even maybe, and it is all about that reciprocity and generosity between each other, and knowing, being discerning enough to have that balance, to know that you have the responsibility to self, to keep yourself filled. Don't give more than you can afford to give, whether that's physically or energetically, but do give of self, do give what you can give, do be generous with what you can afford to be generous with. The balancing aspect of it comes in even more so with the Two of Pentacles. And this guy is juggling here, and this came out of nowhere when I pulled these two cards, in that going back to the Tower, charitable, big charitable organizations popped into my mind. These are part of these towers, where on the face of it they've been built up to look like they really do care, they really do serve many. And many within those towers of organised charitable organisations, they do a lot of good work and are there for the reason of wanting to do a lot of good work. But the makers, the constructors of these charitable organisations, be discerning about where you put your generosity. You know, really balance out and check out to the nth degree before you put your generosity in the hands of something outside of self, another tower outside of self, and hope that they will distribute it fairly, or that they will do something greater with it than you could have done yourself. I feel it's a time right now to bring that generosity very close to home, in that maybe money that you've been given to these big organizations in the past, maybe invest that money and some time to physically just giving over material things, food, clothes, money, things that help sustain others, directly to people who you can see in need, rather than putting the responsibility with your generosity outside of self on these towers that have been built up, these charitable organisations that are huge, that are very successful, but haven't really seemed, if you look at the years they've been going, haven't really achieved too much groundbreaking stuff. They haven't really changed too much for all of the millions that they've had through their hands. So maybe be much more discerning about where you put your generosity, and take the responsibility really to self, to see what you can do directly with that generosity, rather than feeding it into a tower where a lot of secrets might be coming out about them very, very soon. So the third card being the Nine of Pentacles, and it's clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. So there's this abundant energy, there's this energy of, although there feels like there's a lot of physical scarcity and a lot of scaremongering about physical scarcity and physical lack, the spirit, the energy around us all is very abundant. And I really do feel that that is just where things are upside down. Anything that you're being fed to say, that you're being bombarded with, i.e. this lack spirit, this there's not enough in the stores, there's not enough for everybody, is just that it's bombardment of lies and deceit. And I feel it's for all of us to just relax in knowing that just as nature provides for us every single day and balances herself out every single day in order to deliver exactly what is needed to both humans and animals alike, that we can relax and know that we can do that also, that we can feel that abundant energy without guilt, without shame, and we don't need to go out and rush and accumulate things, that we can just relax in this abundant energy. With that being said also, especially with the very definite aspect of the divine feminine being underpinning all of this process, and holding space and time for us during the whole of this process, it also represents for me the harmony, the order out of this chaos that is ensued. And so it also gives me hope for the fact that I really do feel and keep seeing images of excited faces where they're feeling the opportunity finally to bring something forward, something creative forward that really does give a real service to the many, or something, inventions that really will change the way that we live our daily lives and the way that we can do our daily tasks. And so there's a real energy of creation, creativeness and abundance. So enjoy that abundance. Thank you, sweetness. There's water. You gonna say hello?
My shirt is wet.
That's okay. Do you want to say hello?
Yeah.
Come on then. Up you come. Whoa. There he is. There's my Theodore. What do you want to say about the Nine of Pentacles just before I finish? What do you think about it?
This is like the bestest one, and just like when you turn it down, the flowers, they look a bit normal.
Yes, that's right. So, on the bottom of the deck, on one of the decks, is the Five of Pentacles.
Wait.
And these
and
two...
even like when you turn it upside down, it looks like that thing just looks like Emma Island.
Yes, it does. So the two Nine of Pentacles, really do smash out of the park this feeling of lack, this feeling of not having enough, this feeling of not having the material provision to be able to look after self and look after the ones that we love. So we're smashing that out of the park with the luxurious and abundant Nine of Pentacles and creative processes of others.
Make sure it's smash that like buns super hard and smash that belly buttons.
Yeah.
And if you want Mom's channel, just go to a bell button and subscribe button and just smash those things. So you're subscribed.
Yes, that's right. On the bottom of the other deck, just quickly, is the Queen of Wands. And I really do feel that this is passion stirring up. There's this creativity and passion for newness stirring up, and a lot of people connecting to their intuitive side and their knowing side. This queen also carries...
I can make this card invisible like this.
Yes, this queen also carries the sunflower. The sunflower representing peace and hope, and of course the sun, the benevolent sun. And so there's real opportunity here for us to usher in a reality that we can all not just survive in but really thrive in. But watch out for those towers, watch out where you're putting your money, especially within organisations outside yourself thinking that they're going to do good.
Which one has like a 9 trees?
Be generous close to home and feel abundant, feel that energy of abundance, luxury, and not lack. So those are the cards for the 29th of March 2020. If you'd like to support me and yourself by getting a reading or any energy work, Theodore, stop it, or any energy work, then you can contact me with any of the contact details above or below this video. You can also contact me via Messenger. Just put the service that you would like in capitals, like reading, energy work. Of course, I can't do any massage right now because of the current circumstances. And I promise, if you do purchase a reading, little legs here will be somewhere else. So we can do that via FaceTime or Skype. Please like, please share, please comment. Much love. Be balanced and be whole always.
If any of you just like have 4 million subscribers, and if any of you have, I'm trying to test them.
Go on then quickly, because I've got to let them go.
And like, if one of you's got 10 million subscribers, just make sure you smash your like buttons and your like bell
Smash
buttons.
it.
Yes, smash it.
Smash it.
Yes, so it's dead.
No. Right, well, I love you. Be balanced, be whole. See you soon.